A dog flops down at your feet and rolls onto its back, tongue out, waiting for you to scratch its belly. It trusts you completely. It has no reason not to. Now go back, far back, tens of thousands of years. That dog's ancestor was a wolf, an animal that would have watched you from the edge of the trees and slipped into the dark before you ever knew it was there. Same animal, almost. The same wild blueprint. One of them would never have let you close. The other one is lying at your feet, asking for a belly rub. How do you turn a wolf into this? And why does the answer keep pointing back at you? You already know the usual story. Early humans found some wolves, kept the friendly ones, fed them, bred the friendliest of those, and slowly shaped the dog. We did it. We tamed them. Maybe. But there's a deeper version, and it's stranger. The wolves may have started it themselves. The ones calm enough to creep toward a human camp got the leftover bones. They lived a little longer. They had more pups. Being friendly paid off. So the wolf, in a way, began taming itself long before we ever set out to. And once you see taming like that, as something that can happen to an animal, not just something we choose to do to one, a very uncomfortable door swings open. What if it happened to us? To understand why that question is so unsettling, you need to meet a Russian scientist named Belyaev and a farm full of foxes. In 1959, Belyaev began an experiment in Siberia that was meant to last a few years. It is still running today. He took silver foxes, wild, snapping, fear-biting animals, and he selected them for one single thing. Not size, not color, not cleverness, just one, how calmly they let a human come near. Every generation, he kept only the tamest few and let them breed. The next generation, he did it again. Friendliest only, over and over. You'd expect, after all those years, simply friendlier foxes. And he got them. Foxes that wagged, that whimpered for attention, that leapt into your arms like puppies. But something else came along that nobody asked for. Their ears went floppy. Their tails began to curl. White patches bloomed across their fur. Their snouts grew shorter, their faces rounder and softer and more cub-like. And they stayed that way into adulthood, never quite growing up. Belyaev had selected for one thing, and a whole bundle of other changes arrived for free, as if they'd been hiding in the same box. Scientists have a name for that bundle. They call it the Domestication Syndrome, the strange checklist of traits that keep showing up, together, in tamed animals everywhere. Floppy ears, curly tails, patchy coats, smaller teeth, shorter faces, a childlike body that never fully hardens. Why would gentleness drag all of that along with it? The leading idea is beautifully simple, and it starts before birth, in the embryo. When any animal is just a cluster of growing cells, a special group of them peels away and travels through the body, becoming all sorts of things. They help build the color in the skin, the cartilage in the ears, parts of the jaw and the teeth. And, this is the key, they help build the glands that flood the body with fear and stress. Now imagine you quietly turn that group of cells down, just a little. Fewer of them, arriving slightly late. You get an animal whose fear system is softer, calmer, slower to panic. That's the tameness. But you also, by accident, get paler patches, floppier ears, a smaller jaw, a shorter face. The very same cells were building all of it. Turn one dial near the very start, and the whole package shifts together. Tameness, it turns out, has a look. And once you know the look, you start seeing it in strange places. Like a mirror. Take the skull of an early human, a Neanderthal, say, or one of our own ancestors from 100,000 years ago. Heavy brow, a long, jutting face, big teeth, thick, robust bone. Now hold your own skull up beside it. Your brow ridge is almost gone, smoothed flat. Your face is shorter, tucked neatly under your forehead. Your teeth are smaller. Your jaw is lighter. Researchers who measured hundreds of ancient skulls found our faces have been softening for tens of thousands of years, the heavy features slowly melting away. Even our brains, oddly, seem to have shrunk a little over the last several thousand years. Floppier, smaller toothed, softer faced, childlike. Read that checklist again. It's the fox. It's the dog. It's the Domestication Syndrome. The wild animal in this story is the human who came before, and the tame one, the soft-faced, gentle, self-controlled one, is you. We're not the wolf. We're the dog. And here's the thing. Nature has run this exact experiment before, on an animal that isn't us. Meet the bonobo. Bonobos and chimpanzees come from the same recent ancestor. They're almost the same creature. But chimps are tense, ranked, often violent. Bonobos are the opposite. Playful, tolerant, quick to share, slow to fight. They settle their arguments with closeness instead of fists. And their bodies show it. Next to chimps, bonobos have smaller heads, smaller teeth, a softer, more childlike face they keep their whole lives. Scientists like Brian Hare have argued that the bonobo is, in essence, a chimp that domesticated itself, that grew gentler and softened in body as the prize. So it isn't just dogs and foxes and us. Give evolution a reason to reward calm, and this same transformation keeps appearing. The question stops being whether humans were tamed. It becomes, who tamed us? Because no one was standing over us, choosing the friendly ones. Or were they? This is where it turns dark. One leading thinker on this, the Harvard scientist Richard Wrangham, offers an answer that's hard to shake. The breeder, he argues, was us, the group itself. Picture an early human band. There's always one, the bully, the man who takes what he wants, who erupts, who terrorizes everyone around him. In a chimp troop, he'd rise to the top, because raw strength wins. But our ancestors had something chimps don't. Language. They could whisper, they could plan, they could agree. And so, Wrangham argues, the quieter members did the unthinkable, over and over, across thousands of generations. They conspired, and they removed the bully. Calmly, together. The most hot-tempered, dangerous men were taken out of the group, and out of the gene pool, again and again. Selecting against the violent is selecting for the calm. We were breeding ourselves for self-control, one execution at a time. We were the farmer and the fox at once. Sit with that for a second. The gentleness in your face may have been carved by your ancestors deciding, generation after generation, who was too dangerous to keep around. But the gentleness wasn't only a grim survival trick. It may have been the key to everything you call human. Think about what calm makes possible. A tense, aggressive animal can't sit shoulder to shoulder with strangers, can't share a fire, can't pass a tool from hand to hand, or sit still long enough to learn from someone, or hold a quiet thought while another person is talking. Tameness brings tolerance, and tolerance is the soil everything else grows in. Teaching, trading, language, the slow stacking of one good idea on top of another, until you get villages and books and spacecraft. We didn't necessarily get clever and then friendly. It may have happened the other way around. We got friendly, and that is what let us get clever. Being easy to be near may be the single most powerful thing our species ever evolved. And here's where this stops being about foxes and bonobos and bullies by the fire, and starts being about you. The next time you pass a mirror, really look. That smooth forehead with no heavy ridge of bone, that small jaw, those big eyes in a soft, almost unfinished face. You've called that your face your whole life, but it's also a set of marks, the same marks stamped on the dog at your feet and the fox in that Siberian pen. The signature of an animal shaped across countless years to get along. And it runs deeper than your face. Think about how long you stayed a child. Years and years of needing to be fed, carried, protected, taught. Tamed animals hold on to their childhood longer than their wild cousins, and humans hold on to ours the longest of all. You are, in the most literal sense, the most thoroughly tamed creature on this planet. You were born that way. But don't mistake tame for harmless. That's the twist inside the twist. We are the gentlest of all the apes in our daily lives, and also, by a wide margin, the most lethal when we organize. We softened our tempers in the moment, but we kept a cold talent for planned, deliberate violence. The same calm that lets you ride a train beside 100 strangers in perfect peace is the calm that can sit in a quiet room and plan a war. The gentle face was never the whole story. So look down again at the dog at your feet, an animal that was once a wolf in the tree line, unreachable, wild, now lying on its back, eyes half closed, trusting you with its whole soft belly. We always tell that story as something we did to them, a wild thing made gentle, but the same story was running the entire time inside us. Something wild, made gentle, carved soft by the simple, relentless pressure to be the kind of creature others want to keep close. You've been looking at the result your whole life, and you just call it your face. The more you learn about being human, the stranger it gets, because after all, we're still the same old ape. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.